Rakeem Myers facing 2 felony charges for allegedly firing a gun at his former friend, ASAP Relly, back in 2021.
But the police did an exhaustive search of this area. They did not find any bullet shells. They didn't find any casings. They didn't find any blood.
It kind of looked like a movie. The whole thing looked like a movie. So he kind of like pointed down and shot.
Rihanna is stepping out into court in support of her man ASAP Rocky. This is after he's been accused of shooting a good friend. Now, ASAP Rocky claims that he's innocent and that this good friend is just jealous of his success. But this friend, whose name is ASAP Relly, says that he has evidence to prove that he was in fact targeted. So let's get into it. I have a feeling we're not going to be getting an album from Rihanna anytime soon because she's too busy dealing with ASAP Rocky in court. And no, it's not divorce court, it is criminal court because ASAP Rocky got himself in a really messy situation, actually firing a gun at a former friend, ASAP Relly. So they're both from the ASAP family, the house of ASAP.
The rapper, whose real name is Rakeem Myers, facing 2 felony charges for allegedly firing a gun at his former friend, ASAP Relly, back in 2021.
Now, I wonder if ASAP Relly is going to change his name, like to drop the ASAP. I mean, if someone had shot a gun at me, I probably would. Now, to give you guys context, Rocky has been in the music industry for a long time. It's how him and Rihanna ended up getting together. Now, the court hearings are being held downtown, actually conveniently 2 miles away from where the Grammys are going to be held, and he actually does have a Grammy nomination. It looks like these two are going to be spending a lot of time downtown this week and this weekend. But let's go back in time to when this incident went down and why ASAP Rocky would want to go and shoot his friend Relly. Now, I do want to say that this situation could have been avoided. I mean, well, he could have not shot his friend, but also he had the opportunity to go and accept plea deals, which would have got him out of going to trial. He believes in his own innocence, which I don't know how he does. I mean, if he goes to jail, I think he could serve up to 24 years. And with a plea deal, he would have been in there for like 18 months, which granted, even a few days in prison sounds like a lot to me, or jail. So I can't imagine 18 months. But he must feel really confident in his case to prove that he wasn't the one who fired this firearm.
He was offered apparently plead guilty. You get 6 months. Instead, he's now looking at 24 years. I mean, that seems...
Yeah, he said, let's go to trial.
That is quite a roll of the dice.
I stand corrected. I guess it's 6 months, not even 18 months. So, I mean, if I felt like in my heart I did commit that crime, I probably would just take the 6 months. But, oh gosh, I never want to have to shoot someone. Oh, sounds horrible, like traumatizing for everyone involved, but also especially the person who was shot. So here's what we know. ASAP Rocky's being accused of firing a gun at a former friend and collaborator, ASAP Relly. It happened in November 2021 in Hollywood. Prosecutors allege that tensions between the two escalated after a fallout over their personal and professional relationship. So these guys were good friends, business partners, and it looks like they had a very intense friendship, which led to them hurting each other, and then they got into an altercation. Feelings were hurt, so ASAP Relly claims that Rocky had shot him twice, with one bullet grazing his knuckles. However, Rocky has pleaded not guilty and denies these allegations. Rocky is stating that he used a starter pistol that only fires blanks to defuse a fight, which not only like you have guns, but you have fake guns that like look real. Police officers who searched the scene found no physical evidence of a shooting, including shell casings or bullet holes. 2 days later, ASAP Relly reportedly brought shell casings to the police, which he claimed that he had retrieved from the scene. Now, honestly, I don't doubt that he maybe did go and find those casings, just because I don't really trust the police doing their due diligence. I mean, thank you, police, for what you do, but you know, especially in Los Angeles County and you're dealing with celebrities, things can get corrupted very quickly. Now, Rocky and Relly's relationship goes back to their high school days in New York City, where they were both part of the ASAP Collective, which actually stands for Always Strive and Prosper, which, okay, like that, I don't know why, but that doesn't really go hard for me. Like, it doesn't really seem like badass. Like, okay, always strive and prosper. Like, okay, cool. Like, amen to that too. Imagine this, you've been in an accident or someone you love has been seriously hurt. Suddenly you're facing a mountain of medical bills, paperwork, and insurance companies that don't want to pay what you deserve. Now, what if I told you there was a simple solution to this nightmare? Getting compensation when you are entitled to can be tricky, with many personal injury firms giving you the runaround, drowning you in paperwork and settling for less than what you deserve. But it doesn't have to be that way. This is where Morgan & Morgan steps in. As America's largest injury firm, they've modernized the entire process. With over 1,000 attorneys across all 50 states, they have the resources to take on big insurance companies and give you the money you deserve. And trust me, they don't settle for low-ball offers. Just this year, they secured a $26 million settlement in Philadelphia, 40 times more than the highest insurance offer. And there are plenty more stories like that. You could just fill out a simple form in minutes. No appointments, no complicated paperwork. Everything is done from your phone. Plus, it's totally free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan makes the process easy and stress-free. You can head over to forthepeople.com/Sloan. You can also find that link in the description below to get started. Remember, the process is free unless you win. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy. Relly has testified that he felt abandoned as Rocky's fame skyrocketed, while he and other members of the group started to struggle to keep up. So he's the one who made it out of like the group, and I guess everyone in the group felt betrayed that he did not bring them up with him. Tensions between the two came to a head in November 2021 following a disagreement over Rocky's alleged failure to support other ASAP members. The two agreed to meet at the W Hotel in Hollywood, where Relly claims Rocky pulled out a gun and fired at him after a heated exchange. Relly is taking to the stand and he is speaking to ASAP Rocky and the court, accusing his friend of firing this gun. Relly's emotional testimony described a strained relationship with Rocky. It's gotten very personal, people. I mean, look at this quote. He's famous. I'm a nobody. Rocky, meanwhile, has remained silent in court, with his lawyer speaking on his behalf. It's so sad to me that their like relationship is breaking over fame. I mean, I can understand like when someone becomes famous, there's implications. They probably lose people, and that's probably a natural thing. But it's so sad to me that like Relly's like, I'm a nobody. He's famous. Like it seems like all of their importance in life goes into just fame and money, and it's like, well, you know, Relly, you probably have other qualities that are admirable. You don't need to just compare yourself to Rocky. Plus, I feel like ASAP Rocky, I wouldn't want to bring all these like members to the fame if they're all named ASAP, because a lot of people call ASAP Rocky just ASAP. So are we all just going to go by the same name? Now, I guess during this confrontation, ASAP Rocky tried to turn around or go away from him. Relly went on to follow him, and that's when Rocky turned around and shot. He said he did not think that ASAP Rocky would shoot him because they were childhood friends, but he said, quote, the whole thing was like a movie. He kind of like pointed down and he shot the first shot.
It kind of looked like a movie. The whole thing was like a movie. So he kind of like pointed down and shot the first shot.
So he claims his hand was grazed by the bullet and it felt hot. He said then maybe he grabbed one of their friends and stood behind him for cover. Then ASAP Rocky fired again before leaving the scene. Reports say their relationship had been strained for years and was getting worse in previous days, but he was furious when Rocky pulled a gun on him and the scuffle began. Relly said, I told him to use it because mentally I couldn't believe it. Quote, I physically could not believe that there was a gun in my face. That was the breaking point for me. Now, like ASAP Relly has said, he's famous and I'm a nobody, which means he doesn't really have the Rihanna Fenty funds to go and fund his legal defense. So it's been hard for Relly to be on the stand and to have ASAP Rocky's team challenge him because, you know what, ASAP Relly, he tends to lie as well. I mean, who the hell? I don't know who to believe in Hollywood nowadays because everyone's a liar. And I can understand if he gets some certain things wrong because it was a traumatizing event. But again, that's why it's nice to have these expensive lawyers because they're going to do their big one.
Well, did you hear your testimony?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And when you said, if I said you, it was with love, right? That's what you just said.
I don't get what you're saying. Sorry.
What did you hear yourself just say?
I don't get what you're saying.
Here's my question. Here it comes. What did you hear yourself just say?
But what are you getting at? I don't get what you're saying.
Don't worry about what I'm getting at.
But explain it again. I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused.
Just listen. He's asking you, did you hear your testimony?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? He's just asking you.
Did I say it? Did I say, I don't know. Can you explain the question?
Now, Relly claims that when he went to this meetup, he thought that they would argue, but they would also make up. And the last thing he wanted to do was to get into a fight. Prosecutors also have presented the jury with a series of maps, photos, and a 911 call from the night of the incident, with several videos captured by surveillance cameras in the area. They say it's not a complicated case and that the evidence will show the events in this case were captured on camera, which is very true. There are cameras everywhere in LA, so I can't imagine anything going down and there's not a camera view. ASAP Relly also came forward as the victim of an alleged assault and filed a civil lawsuit on August 10th, 2022, accusing ASAP Rocky of assault, battery, and inflicting emotional distress and negligence. Relly also filed a defamation lawsuit in 2023, naming ASAP Rocky and his legal team in court documents, saying that they're trying to make him look bad, again, to try to make ASAP Rocky look innocent. Now, Rocky's team is claiming that Relly is just jealous. He is so bitter. He wishes he could be with Rihanna, and that's why he's motivated to go after Rocky.
25 years of practice in law. If you knew how many times I heard individuals telling me about starter pistols and it wasn't a gun or it was a BB gun or something of that nature. The reason it is being alleged that it is a starter gun is because in California, the starter pistol shoots blanks, and it would not satisfy the statute of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. The other problems that are wrong with this case: one, police officers went to the scene based upon the allegations of Mr. Relly, the victim, and they looked all over and they didn't find anything. Well, later, a couple of days later, Relly showed up with some firearm, with some casings in his hand and said, "Hey, I found some 9mm casings that y'all didn't find. These are clearly what he shot at me."
During opening arguments, ASAP Rocky's attorney told the members of the jury that they will hear from multiple witnesses during the trial that will testify that the gun seen in the video was absolutely nothing more than a prop gun used for movies and music videos. Now, that's very interesting. I mean, nowadays, we don't know what's a prop gun or what is a real gun. I mean, we saw what happened with Alec Baldwin killing someone on set thinking it was a prop gun. Rocky's lawyer, Joe, said no bullet holes, no blood, no shell casings. There's nothing here. Quote, "This is about one man's lies, jealousy, and greed. It's all about money."
Well, I think the defense has a lot of confidence in its case. There are a lot of holes in this case for this alleged victim. He says these were real bullets. He says he was shot at, but the police did an exhaustive search of this area and they did not find any bullet shells. They didn't find any casings. They didn't find any blood. In fact, they have not found the alleged gun that was used in the alleged attack. And also, even though there's video from the incident, the video doesn't show the actual shooting. We also know the defense's theory is that, look, this is a money grab. This is an attempt by an old associate who's jealous of the success that ASAP Rocky has experienced, trying to extort him for money. The credibility of ASAP Relly is what is at issue at this moment in this trial.
Now, if ASAP did not do this, I can understand why he is saying no to these plea deals. But holy hell, is Rihanna gonna wait for him if he goes to prison for 24 years? Like, literally, their children would be fully grown. Also, why do I feel like people who have, like, actually unalived people and who have, like, R-worded people, like, get less than 24 years? Maybe I'm completely wrong with that. I'm no legal expert, but I mean, it is a crazy amount of time.
So you're telling me that ASAP Rocky was charged with serious offences based on two key pieces of evidence, being really poor quality CCTV footage and an ex-friend with a fucking graze on his hand who's been jealous of ASAP Rocky's career this entire time.
Not the ASAP. Oh no. Oh gosh. We have to move on from that. But Rihanna is showing face in support of her man. Rihanna has made her first appearance in the trial of her partner ASAP Rocky, in which she has 2 children with. Rihanna was brought into the courtroom by a team. She tried to keep her profile low-key, but when you're Rihanna, that's hard to do.
Rihanna dodged the media heading into court this morning, entering via the underground parking lot. Inside court, she sat next to ASAP's mother and sister. As for ASAP's entrance, well, that turned into a wild mob scene.
Back up. ASAP, what does it mean to have Rihanna over here to support you today?
ASAP rolled up solo at 9:35 a.m.
Support.
Within seconds, Rihanna's partner of 4 years was totally surrounded by more than a dozen cameras and reporters and hammered with questions.
Now, a big part of this trial is the fact that these are two celebrities that are present, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. Sorry, A$AP Rocky, I don't think you're considered a celebrity. So when they went into the jury selection, they had to make sure that the jury did not care about Rihanna or Fenty, asking them, do you use her products and things like that, because they don't want them to be swayed by her presence or connection. Nearly all those questioned had heard of Rihanna before, far more than they had heard of A$AP Rocky, and some described themselves as fans, but they said it felt like it would not affect their decisions.
Rihanna's demeanor is important because this is still a very serious criminal trial, and the judge and jury don't want her to be a distraction from all the witness testimonies.
She appeared almost irritated as the alleged victim, A$AP Rocky, talked about the moment A$AP allegedly fired the gun.
Now, maybe they're in it for the long haul. I mean, they first met each other in 2012, getting close because of her song, Cockiness, love it. They performed at the MTV Video Music Awards together, and they became an official couple in 2020. At the end of the day, this is a sad situation. They've got two young children at home. A$AP Rocky's clearly upset. I don't know who to believe here, but I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I just know that we're not getting that album anytime soon. I also got someone gave me a tip recently saying that Rihanna was presented with 200 AI songs of her voice and she got freaked out. She doesn't want to do music anymore. AI is taking over our world. Do you guys use AI? Comment below. I want to see how many people are using the ChatGPT. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.